Reporting live from Hyper Clubhouse in Atlanta for Comedy Hype News, I'm John Abba. When Dave Chappelle speaks, people listen. On Saturday night, Chappelle officially returned back to SNL since his last visit in 2022. For many, this would be a great surprise after Bill Burr will end up landing Chappelle's expected post-election slot, a part of the 2025 election results, making many people wonder if they would get a chance to hear the stand-up great's commentary on Trump's recent election win. In full suit, Chappelle wouldn't waste no time to discuss some of the most current events. A part of his opening monologue, Chappelle would take on the LA wildfires, Palestine, and the now infamous Diddy. Now, when it came to Diddy, Chappelle would spend a few minutes giving his reaction to the currently jailed music mogul. I've been in a lot of trouble my day, but man, let me tell you something. This guy Puffy, buddy, this guy is in an enormous amount of trouble. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. They got this guy in a RICO case by himself. Now, as he would proceed opening up about his reaction to Diddy news, Chappelle would jokingly discuss how many of his friends approached him wanting to know if he ever attended Diddy's freak-off parties. Chappelle would deny knowing anything about the parties, and that since he was never invited to the reported freak-offs, it was a way that he may have found out that he was ugly. A lot of my friends ask me, they say, Dave, did you know anything about those freak-off parties? And I'd be like, nah, man, I don't know anything about the freak-off. And they all look at me and they'd be like, well, how are all these people you know was at the freak-off, but you the only one that wasn't at the freak-off? And I thought about it for a minute. I said, oh my gosh, I'm ugly. That's a tough way to find that out. Can you imagine if you were me reading a newspaper and you found out everyone in Hollywood had an orgy behind your back? None of y'all called me? Well, that really hurts. I'm glad they didn't call me though, because the stories that come out about it are crazy. I saw one thing on the internet, so I'm not sure this is true. Probably doubt it's true, but I saw it. Some guy who said he knew Puff was like, yeah, man. He's like, I was at a freak off one time and I went in the back room and Puff was in there with Carl Winslow, the dad from Family Matters. He was smashing and I was like, Puff, what are you doing? And he was like, yeah, it feels good to make another man do your bidding. And I was like, oh my God, Carl Winslow from Family Matters was there and I wasn't invited? Back in 2024, during a podcast, a man would reveal that he attended a Puffy party and witnessed the actor who played Carl Winslow, Reginald VelJohnson, participating in some freak-off activities. Now, since then, Johnson has denied the rumors. Now, before moving on to another topic, Chappelle would lastly joke about Diddy's found baby oil bottles during his house raids at the top of 2024. I can't remember a single time I ever threw an empty bottle of baby oil in the trash. Don't think I've ever finished a bottle of baby oil in my life. If we went to my mother's house at night, she probably got the same baby oil we had when I was a little boy with the paint top, and somehow probably was all the way down to the last. And having baby oil is not illegal. They don't remind you about that part. He just used the wrong lube, I think. If he used Crisco, he would have got away with it. But he's just like, oh, he likes to cook. To close out his nearly 17-minute monologue, Chappelle would comment on Trump's return back to the White House and even give the soon-to-be president a direct message. He would go on to ask Trump to be better than his previous time in the White House, and he would use a story of Jimmy Carter in the Middle East to point out the importance of empathy. The presidency is no place for petty people. So Donald Trump, I know you watch the show. Man, remember, whether people voted for you or not, they're all counting on you. Whether they like you or not, they're all counting on you. The whole world is counting on you. I mean this when I say this. Good luck. Please do better next time. Please, all of us do better next time. Do not forget your humanity and please have empathy for displaced people, whether they're in the Palisades or Palestine. Thank you very much and good night. According to reports, Chappelle's monologue will end up being the longest monologue in SNL's history, adding to what many of his fans was a special moment. Let's talk about it more in the comments below. How do you feel about Chappelle's Diddy jokes, his comments around Trump, a part of his SNL return? And for more news in comedy, culture, music, and sports, don't forget to subscribe here to our YouTube channel and follow Hype Plus across all social media. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget you can send us a super thanks by hitting the button below, and you can tip us what you want to show your support. Reporting live from Hyper Clubhouse in Atlanta for Comedy Hype News, I'm John Abba.